So I've just come up this road to the trailhead for the Doi Suthep hike. It's a bit warm. This is one of the only tracks that remains open on the mountain in burning season, from what I understand. It should take maybe 2 hours to get up to the top. I'm going to take some video on the way though, so it'll be a little bit longer. I'm starting in the middle of the day. I hope to get up to the temple by the golden hour, because I think the video will look a little bit better at that time of day. This is quite a strenuous hike for the area. Doi Suthep is the large mountain to the west of Chiang Mai. It's quite a popular track, maybe not at this time of the day, but in the morning. There are Facebook groups that meet up here on a Sunday morning and tackle this mountain. I've got friends that go up with different groups, and I know some other paramilitary groups use it as some training. So I hope you enjoy the hike. So after hiking the first part of the track, which is pretty easy, it's pretty gentle, it's a rocky path I wouldn't do without hiking shoes, I came across this temple, which is in the middle of the jungle. This is such a beautiful place. Considering that Wat Phra That Doi Suthep, the one on top of the mountain, is just so full of tourists, this one was so quiet. A beautiful place. This is an old Northern Thai forest monastery on the way up to Doi Suthep. It's accessible only via walking, I think. It's a good half an hour hike into the jungle. Very quiet. It's very peaceful, but it's also full of idols. I admire the architecture. I like ancient ruins. But it would be nice to see the name of Christ glorified in this place. Some of these statues look really cool. Look like something out of mythology. 4 arms. I think this temple has been here for quite some time. I'd love to come back here and see it in the rainy season, because there's waterfalls and all sorts of features here that would look fantastic. It's winter, so it's not the wet season, but this place, I've yet to see anybody here. A couple of monks eating, that's about it. Maybe it's just too difficult for people to come to. Maybe people don't know about it, I really don't know. But it'd be nice to spend a little bit of time here. It's just it's like walking through Lord of the Rings a little bit, you know, some of these forest areas. Great for exercise. The path up here so far has been fantastic. I'm looking forward to the next part of the path. We're about 30 minutes in. The name of this path, by the way, is called the Pilgrim's Trail. This is where the monks stay. Oh boy, so we got here. Let me tell you, the path just after that last temple you saw, my goodness, that is a killer. But we're here now. This place looks amazing. The views are just spectacular. The architecture is wonderful. It's a very clean place. In the background you can hear the monks chanting. Now we're looking over the city of Chiang Mai off towards the east. It's a bit smoggy. It is burning season, or the start thereof. I think in a drier season or another part of the year you'd be able to see for miles. I see some jet aircraft taking off from the airport down there. It looks great. There's so many people here. It's a very popular place. Wat Phra That, Doi Suthep is one of Thailand's most revered temples. Clearly a lot of money has been spent here. Now that's not all gold. There's a lot of gold paint. The architecture is just amazing. Just something, all these statues, all these buildings, they look like mystical stuff. Isn't that loud? Look at that roof, isn't that amazing? It makes all the buildings, I think, back in the West look a little bit bland. I like the exoticness of Thailand. I hate the idols, but you've got to admit they do look quite good. But I hate what they represent. Up on this third entrance, they've created an entrance for disabled people to be able to get up and have a look as well, which is unusual for Thailand. One worshipper bowing down before an idol. There's so many. It makes you think what it would have been like in the ancient world, where people thought that statues and gods like this had some sort of powers to influence their life. The original founding of Wat Phra That, Doi Suthep remains a legend, and there are a few varied versions. The temple is said to have been founded in 1383 when the first stupa was built. Over time the temple has expanded and been made to look more extravagant, with many more holy shrines added. The road came up to this temple for the first time in 1935. According to legend, a monk named Sumathera from the Sukhothai kingdom had a dream. In this vision he was told to go to Bang Cha and look for a relic. Sumathera ventured to Bang Cha and found a bone. Many claimed that it was Gautama Buddha's shoulder bone. The relic displayed magical powers. It glowed, it was able to vanish, it could move and replicate itself. Sumathera took the relic to King Dhammahaja, who ruled Sukhothai. The eager Dhammahaja made offerings and hosted a ceremony when Sumathera arrived. However, the relic displayed no abnormal characteristics, and the king, doubtful of the relic's authenticity, told Sumathera to keep it. King Nunaon of Lanna heard of the relic and bade the monk to bring it to him. In 1368, with Dhamaraja's permission, Sumathera took the relic to what is now Lamphun in northern Thailand. Once there, the relic broke into two pieces. The smaller piece was enshrined at a temple in Suandok. The other piece was placed by the king on the back of a white elephant which was released into the jungle. The elephant is said to have climbed up Doi Suthep, at that time called Doi Oi Chang, stopped, trumpeted 3 times, then dropped dead. This was interpreted as an omen. King Nunawan immediately ordered the construction of a temple at this site. Once you enter the temple grounds, people must be appropriately dressed and must remove footwear. The original copper-plated chedi is the most holy area of the temple grounds. Within the site are pagodas, statues, bells, a museum and shrines. Aspects of the Wat draw from both Buddhism and Hinduism. There is a model of the Emerald Buddha and a statue of the Hindu god Ganesh. Views of Chiang Mai can be seen on the far side of the temple. Coming the normal way up the road, these stairs are what most tourists will be presented with. There's about 300 and something stairs that they need to climb to get here. Sure, it's easier to get here via car than via the way that I came, but where's the challenge in that? I like these stairs. It's a good workout coming up and running up and down these things. I don't like the fact that as a foreigner I have to pay and locals don't. I find that discriminatory, but that's the way that Thailand works. On the outside of the temple, there's these massive gongs and massive statues of monks and Buddhas. The string represents blessings. Apparently, if you tie the string to the Buddha's hands, whoever holds the other end of the string will get the blessing. This is the bad side of Thailand. Thailand is behind the scenes a junkyard. This is pretty typical of the Thai countryside. They just toss trash anywhere. These trees are actually dying now because of the toxicity of the ground in which they grow. And this is maybe 100 meters down the road from Wat Phra That, Doi Suthep, one of the most sacred temples in their country. So I don't think they do it on purpose. I think they're just not educated. I don't know, I'm a bit torn. Clearly anybody should be able to tell that this is just wrong. Absolutely wrong. Oh. Check out how close these lines are to the path. Now, I work for an electricity company. I know that this is really bad. Just try not to touch them. There might be telephone lines. I'm not taking the risk. Watch out. Make sure you don't get electrocuted. Not very high. Now it's actually on the ground, so I mean, this is hilarious. But if you get through alive, smile. Oh, that's terrible. And then down here.